What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from AnimeUproar, and I'm back at it again to discuss the latest crazy and in this case unbelievably tragic developments in the Boruto story. If you do enjoy seeing these Boruto chapter reviews on the channel, then show Boruto some love by smashing that like button. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell and select all, or you will miss future Boruto videos. And while you wait for the next insane chapter to drop, feel free to check out my growing Naruto/Boruto playlist, where I got videos on all Otsutsuki, all Uzumaki, all Kage, and much more. Link to that is in the description. Now without further ado, let's jump into it, spoilers and all. So on the cover of this one, we got a colored image of Code from Kara, a follower of Ishiki Otsutsuki. Clearly this red-haired dude is the new villain to look out for, but more on him later. Let me know how you like his aesthetic, since he does have a pretty interesting design. So this chapter starts with Naruto's inner world. He looked dead in the last chapter. So here we're going to figure out what's actually going on. Is our boy lost forever? Like I kept saying, I don't think that's ever gonna happen without a 100-year time skip or something like that, but let's keep going. Naruto and Kurama talk. Naruto assumes that they're talking here because he's dying. Kurama says he came to say farewell and says this may be our last conversation, so start talking, Naruto. Obviously this doesn't sound good, but that maybe is hopeful if nothing else. Naruto begins with the big elephant in the room. He starts with saying that Kurama killed his father and mother, but then he stops himself. Despite the fact that Kurama did end up causing the death of his parents, Naruto chooses to focus on their bond, the fact that they've been through a lot together, and he says all in all he's glad Kurama was around. It's crazy to think how far Kurama has come, and these words of Naruto show that he recognizes and appreciates that too. Although Naruto had ample reason to hate Kurama, he didn't, and as a result Kurama ended up helping him so much over the years. Kurama asks if that's all he's got to say, putting Naruto on the spot. Clearly Naruto is not so prepared to die, even though he thought he was. He's got no idea what to say, no final words prepared. Finally, we figure out that Kurama is the one that's actually going to go, while Naruto will be fine. I mentioned this possibility in previous chapter reviews because Kurama specifically said one of us may die at one point. And at this point I thought he might be referring to himself. And that appears to be the price of Baryon mode. It's not the same as Naruto dying, but this is still unbelievably tragic, even more so because Kurama has gotten to the point where he cares enough about Naruto that he'd sacrifice his own life to help him out. This is a recurring idea in Naruto. When you actually show kindness, friendship, and trust to a seemingly bad guy, he'll often surprise you, as was the case with Gaara too. What often turns people into villains is loneliness, and thus friendship and compassion can actually turn them into good guys, at least some of the time. Kurama has been with us and Naruto for so long, it's heartbreaking to see him go. This is definitely one of the most tragic deaths in Naruto, and let me know if there are any that you'd put above this shattering one. What you gotta respect about Kurama is that he was ready to atone for his past. Yeah, he caused death and destruction, but eventually he saved the son of Minato and Kushina, and even the entire village in a way of looking at it. Kurama explains that normally if a Biju is extracted from a Jinchuriki, they will die, but this doesn't apply to Naruto. The chakra simply vanishes. Now in theory, tailed beasts would come back eventually, even if their Jinchuriki died. However, Kurama is implying here that Baryon mode might prevent this from happening. He did say this may be the last time we speak, so there is seemingly a chance of him coming back somehow, but right now it definitely seems like we're seeing the last of him, and that is heartbreaking. I'm probably gonna say that way too many times, but it is. Even though Kurama doesn't like getting too affectionate, it's clear that Naruto meant the world to him, and that's one of the reasons this is so hard to experience. Kurama explains that the price of Baryon mode was his life and not Naruto's. He never planned to sacrifice Naruto's life. Kurama misled him because he knew that Naruto wouldn't go along with the plan otherwise. How epic is this bromance? Both would put the life of the other ahead of their own. Kurama's last words show concern not for himself but for Naruto. He says that now he won't have superhuman strength anymore, so he shouldn't overdo it, or he'll join him in the afterlife soon enough. Kurama implies that if they do see each other again, it will be when Naruto finally passes away, and he tells him to be well until that day. He floats away upward, a really interesting way of signaling him passing on. It has Mufasa in the clouds vibes, and finally Naruto wakes up in the real world. And wow, that just happened. I guess we should have expected someone will die after all the foreshadowing, but I was really hoping they wouldn't. However, this series is called Boruto, and that means one way or another Boruto is going to have to surpass Naruto. And so Kurama died and Naruto got nerfed, as did Sasuke, having lost his Rinnegan, an especially annoying weapon in the eyes of the Otsutsuki. In a way, the nerfing was inevitable, but we didn't necessarily know it would be this tragic. However, now Boruto has a clear path to being the hero of the story, the one who will have to step up to defend the village or even the world. At the very least, we can be grateful that Naruto is still with us. And Boruto is very grateful, calling his dad stupid for worrying him so much. As Kurama pointed out, to them, he did appear to be in a death-like state. Kawaki is the one who suggests that they get back to the village. At this point, Sasuke points out in a stoic manner that he can't create a portal because he lost his Rinnegan. He doesn't hold Boruto responsible though. He says they need to consider themselves lucky to have survived since they were all prepared to die, which is a good way to look at it. Now Boruto is their only way of getting back, but it isn't that easy. In the meantime though, we jump to Code. Code is where the new god tree is at. Code is not happy with Kawaki being the chosen vessel. He looks at Ishiki as if Ishiki was a god and wanted to be the chosen one. And surprise, surprise, he's about to get what he wished for in a manner of speaking. The spirit of Ishiki appears, which is not new for Otsutsuki. Ishiki explains that he did lose and he will die. However, he has not given up. He reveals that Code's dud of a karma is actually a non-vessel white karma. It's its own thing, and according to Ishiki, through it, his legacy lives on in the form of pure power. He wants Code to inherit the Otsutsuki will. Although Ishiki will disappear shortly, he leaves Code with the task of feeding Kawaki or Boruto to the Ten Tails. Then after the divine tree has absorbed the life energy on the planet and formed into a chakra fruit, he will eat that fruit. Pretty standard Otsutsuki stuff. Then he'd become a threat to the rest of space, moving from planet to planet, devouring each along the way. The Otsutsuki will is the will to keep evolving and ultimately become a peerless, unique existence, a god. So we got those Dragon Ball Z vibes here, where they're not just fighting for their own village or just for planet Earth, but for the entire galaxy and universe. Ishiki wants Code to become a god, while Code was actually a worshipper of Ishiki and viewed him as a god. As a result, Code will make sure to dispose of those who stole the pillar of his heart from him. It's very poetic stuff. In other words, he wants revenge against the people who killed his god, and he wants to get it before he carries out his larger plan, including the divine tree. An interesting twist, and definitely let me know how you guys feel about Code as the next big villain. He definitely doesn't seem like as big of a threat after Ishiki, but we have to remember that Naruto and Sasuke have been nerfed, so we still can't expect this to be an easy fight, especially because of his mysterious power upgrade and because Boruto, as we see, is clearly struggling to gain control over his powers. Boruto straight up asks to be reminded how to do space-time ninjutsu, revealing that he's still relying on flukes rather than mastery at this point. Kawaki actually ends up letting him know that he's gotta loosen up, and it should be easy if he just relaxes. He hits the nail on the head when he asks if Boruto is worried that Momoshiki will return again if he lets his guard down. Kawaki reveals that he wanted to get rid of his karma for good, and he accomplished this thanks to their help. Like a true bro, he tells Boruto that he can count on them and that he can't expect to solve the problem on his own. In a pretty powerful moment for Kawaki, he swears that he will get rid of Boruto's karma. It kind of reminds me of Naruto's promise to save Sasuke in the original series, except obviously Obviously, Kawaki is the more Sasuke-like character, meaning he has that tough exterior and is more hesitant to show positive emotions, so him saying something like this is doubly impactful. The power of friendship, guys, it's the real deal. Kawaki's new reason for being seems to be to help Boruto take care of his karma and to stamp out all the other karma no matter what, which foreshadows their eventual meeting and fight with Code. We get a pretty hilarious moment where Boruto asks again how to do it, and Kawaki starts screaming at him to quit freaking out and just do it already. He throws in an idiot for good measure, and although Boruto snaps back at him, it ends up being the kick in the pants he needs, and finally Boruto succeeds in getting the portal going. But it's very sudden, and Sasuke has to react in a split second and drag Naruto with him so they don't get trapped in this other dimension. We then jump to Amato and the others, and the most significant thing here is that the usually calm, cool, and collected Amato looks worried AF, is zoning out, and is even sweating. As Shikamaru tells them that Naruto and the others are back, Amato asks about Kawaki if he's okay. He's especially relieved to hear that he is. Surprisingly, this cool scientist who usually seems emotionless can actually get pretty emotional and noticeably cares a lot about Kawaki. Our four ninja make it back together, barely, but they did it, and we have another bromantic moment where Boruto tells Kawaki he feels like anything is possible as long as he's with Kawaki. They do make quite the team, and it's crazy to think that they'll be going head to head after the time skip. But for now, Boruto is clearly offering friendship to Kawaki like Naruto did to Sasuke and to Kurama. Kawaki still has to maintain the tough guy appearance and dodges the nice comment by telling Boruto to stand on his own already, but we and Boruto know that those kind words do mean a lot to Kawaki. And the chapter finishes off with Code saying aloud the names of the people he'll make pay, who include Kawaki, Amato, Sasuke, Naruto, and Boruto. Again, usually this would seem ridiculous for him to take them all on, but with the recent nerfs in power and his own upgrade, it seems like this will be an intense battle. We quickly transition from the end of one conflict to setting up another one, although it is related. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this chapter, the chapter that broke us. Even though I predicted this might happen, I can barely believe it actually did. Kurama is such an important character and is so related to Naruto and his powers. Let me know your thoughts. Was this a huge mistake? Did you think this was a good way for him to go, sacrificing himself for Naruto and the village? And do you think he may come back, since we don't fully know what to expect, since Baryon mode is a relatively new thing, and Kurama did say this may be the last time they speak again. Keywords maybe. We'll see what happens, and I'll definitely cover it on this channel, but it was no doubt heartbreaking, and at the same time it was also extremely impactful to see how far Kurama has come. Do you like the fact that Naruto and Sasuke got nerfed, giving Boruto and Kawaki a chance to step up and take center stage? I have a buddy who is a huge fan of the original Naruto, and he hates to see Naruto and Sasuke being nerfed, but this series is called Boruto, so it was inevitable that one way or another, Boruto would have to surpass the others. And this gives an opening for that to happen without the mangaka downplaying Naruto's full power. Anyways, that is it for this one. If you do enjoy these Boruto chapter reviews and want to keep them coming, then show Boruto some love by smashing that like button. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial. Hit that notification bell and select all, or you will miss future Boruto videos. And while you wait for the next insane chapter to drop, feel free to check out my growing Naruto/Boruto playlist, where I got videos on all Otsutsuki, all Uzumaki, all Kage, and much more. Link to that is in the description. And I especially want to thank the patron squad over on Patreon and here on YouTube who helped make videos like this one possible. First and foremost, I want to thank the patron of legend, the one acknowledged by Lord Twigo himself, and the most donated champion of the world, Alpha Sigma, and are the 1-tier patrons, the ones who stand atop all clans, Ingrata, The World, Acquire Respect, Pate, Hefa, Liam Thompson, Aljatal, Dr. Courtman, Johnny Boy Draws, Emperor Otaku, Spidey Life Tanel, Baked Buddhist, and Tungsten Tarkus. And our Pro Hero tier patrons, the one and only Gilgamesh Steelers, Angel Cruz, Anatoly Kazatsky, Joe Stanton, Barry Gucci, Jessica Kayla Fawn, Rathuende Aura, Alicia Actor, Bonnie Parks, Hinokami and Water, The Red Haired Raven, Joanne Garcia, Jack Watches Anime, Fatboy Games, Ted No Ted, Deadly Saint, Matthew Cruz, and Anthony Schreiber. Thank you all so much. If you do enjoy our work, you You can support more of it by going over to patreon.com/AnimeUproar and becoming a patron today for as little as $1. If you do so, you'll get your name featured in future videos alongside these amazing epic people right here, and you'll even get access to our private patron-only Discord where we talk about anime, life, waifus, and of course, dank memes. So check out patreon.com/AnimeUproar. Link to that is in the description if you're interested. You can also join the YouTube channel by clicking that blue join button next to the subscribe button that you've hopefully already clicked. So yeah, you can support more content that way if you prefer. Whichever way you choose to support us, you can get the same great benefits. Thanks again, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.